afternoon. It's me, the Gabby, Pat Miller, for my Friday fun with a very special lady. Somebody I have only recently gotten to know, except that my family has been fans for years of Natascha Sherman Hess. Is that the order it goes in?
Yes, Sherman is my name. Yep.
Okay. I knew the two names. I didn't know which went where. Thank you for taking a few minutes out. And you are the owner, chef, creator, whatever, of the Ginger Pig. Well, first of all, the word pig, I collected pigs for years. But this isn't about me. I want to know, I want to know about the present place, but tell me how you started.
Thank you for having me. I'm actually a big fan of yours. When I moved to Denver in 2001, we didn't have Yelp or the internet really. We didn't know where to go eat or how to find good places. And we actually bought a Gabby Gourmet guidebook, my husband and I, in 2001. And it really helped us see different parts of the city and, give us a guide to the city. And thank you for what you do for all of us as well.
I love you all. Yeah, listen. I'm part of you, so that's okay. So tell us about you. 2001, you came back. How you tell the story?
Okay, so I moved to Denver in 2001, and I worked in sports TV for a while. And then I went to law school at the University of Denver and became an attorney. I was doing bankruptcy, divorce, and criminal law, and I found it to be quite depressing and kind of square peg, round hole, and really just didn't feel like myself at all. So what I would do kind of as my own therapy was I got a farm share from a CSA in Lafayette called Isabel Farm. And I would get 80 different vegetables throughout the summer, spread out over 18 weeks. And so I'd come home from court or come home from the office and I would cook and I would try to recreate the recipes that I had eaten in China. I was a Chinese major in college and I had lived with a family in Beijing and then spent 3 summers with them. And really fallen in love with the culture and the food. And then I traveled all over Southeast Asia. And I've been to Japan several times. My brother lived in Japan for a while.
You're a lawyer, a sports broadcaster, okay, and a Chinese maid.
I've had a lot of careers,
I'm impressed.
It gives me a lot of perspective, So when I stand in the kitchen for a long, 12 to 15 hour day or whatever it is, I can be, grateful that I'm not in a courthouse or, doing other things that I didn't like. So I think it's good to go through several things and kind of find your place and find what you love. And I know that I was late to the game, to the culinary game. I changed in my late 30s, but I think this is where I'm supposed to be. And it feels really right and feels really good. And it feels like all that other experience has been very helpful to me in terms of starting a business and being an entrepreneur and having resiliency. I think that comes from my days as a lawyer. I took the Colorado bar exam 5 times and I didn't give up. I, passed on my 5th try, which was 2.5 years of my life. And
nobody passes on their first.
Well, it gives me so much strength and resiliency now. And I think, for people to have success, they obviously have to go through failures and learn from things. And the strength that it gives me and the resiliency it gives me is something that I wouldn't change, even though it was a tremendous struggle for 2.5 years. I feel like I can hold my head up high and feel like really confident leading this team of, 12 people in here, that I'm not going to just give up and that we're going to keep going, even though it's COVID. And I feel like strong.
Good for you. Just as a quick aside, years ago, there was Chefs of the West, probably in the very late 90s, early 2000s. And almost every one of them had a career other than being a chef. So don't ever sell yourself short.
Thank you. And I did want to mention, so then that led me to deciding to start a food truck. And so in 2015, I wrote a pretty extensive business plan, like an 80-page business plan, which is I realize now, a little extensive. And I took a class through Portland State University. It was actually a certificate program called the Business of Artisan Food. And I had a great mentor there, Jennifer Lewis, who had written a book on starting a food truck and written a book on putting products on shelves. So with her help, I then went and did an internship at Brazen, which is a great restaurant in the same neighborhood that the Ginger Pig's in now here.
I still like him.
Yeah, and so I worked at Brazen for Chef Carrie Baird, and that's really where I learned how to do some of this. And she took me under her wing for 5 months as an intern, and really put a lot of her time and energy into my growth and development. And then she came and helped me on my truck. About 3 or 4 weeks after we opened, she came and helped me kind of, I would say, save our business. At that point, I was selling so many pot stickers a day that I couldn't keep up, and my labor was so high. She said, do you want to be in business next summer, or do you want to keep selling pot stickers? And it was one of probably 10 or 15 different pivotal moments over the last 5 years where she's really saved this business. And she's in the kitchen right now. She's behind us cooking lunch, one person line right now, and really helped me.
Can I ask a question? Is Carrie the one who made ramen at Brazen only on Sundays that you make now?
Yes, so it's a great story, actually. The first time I went to Brazen, sorry, someone's actually getting their car towed in our parking lot. It's kind of loud. I did not make that call. I didn't tow someone's car. But sorry, that was distracting.
I
was wondering what all that noise was. But so when I met
the noodles
the first night at Brazen, I was blown away by her ramen. I couldn't believe it was the best ramen I had in America, and I had been to Japan 4 times.
Okay, and I've been there too. Okay.
Yeah, and so I was really surprised, and I actually asked her, do you give lessons? I'm starting a food truck. I need some help. I've never worked in a professional kitchen. And she was so gracious and kind and took me in, and showed me how to make ramen noodles from scratch and the broth with feet and bones. No wonder
I like it so much. That's hysterical. Okay. I didn't get it.
So that was 5 years ago, and then we worked together briefly at Rosetta Hall as well, and have continued to help each other. And this is a good challenge for her to cook Asian food. She's, been on Top Chef, and she's been nominated for a James Beard. So she's a very established chef. And for me to get to work with someone like that every day is the highlight of my life, to get to keep learning and getting better.
Your partners in Ginger Pig?
Yes, she calls herself a consulting partner, but I call us both chef owners. Okay. So, but yeah, she definitely is here full time right now and is helping me grow it and helping me to really solidify things and make the systems better, and for teaching me how to be a better leader. She's doing a lot more than just helping me cook. So,
well, women rock, and you two are fabulous. Okay, so tell us about Ginger Pig now.
Okay, so Ginger Pig's come a long way, but some of the dishes we have on the menu, even today,
people don't know, so you have to tell them what Ginger Pig is.
Okay, let me do that. But we do have some of the same items on the menu now that I used to bring into Brazen to test 5 years ago, which is really fun. But we also have a lot of new things. So Ginger Pig is Asian street food, and my background is mostly Chinese food, but I also spent a lot of time in Japan and Thailand and the Philippines and Malaysia and Singapore, and really fell in love with all those flavors and those ingredients.
Me too.
Yeah, and so our menu right now has food from China, Japan, Thailand. We also have some Vietnamese food, and I think it's really fun. It's very broad, but there's also some fusion. We have like a Rose's cheeseburger fried rice, which is kind of the ultimate mix of Ginger Pig and Carrie's background of American food at Rose's. So that's really fun. And then we're constantly working on specials. So you're not going to come in here and always see the same menu, which I also think is fun.
I do too.
Yeah. And we're working on some ice creams and some soups, and we're having a lot of fun with the food.
Well, your ice cream is creamy and delicious.
Thank you.
And then, well, so is all the food. But I'll let you tell about it, and then I'll add.
So one fun thing I was going to mention about the ramen that we're doing on Sundays is we're using our Charsu from our regular menu in the ramen. So that dish is kind of what got us here. We Last year it was named one of the top 10 dishes in Boulder, and that really helped us, you know, have the confidence to move forward, going from a food truck to a food hall to a brick and mortar. And the Charsu was actually the #1 seller in the entire food hall, which really, you know, beat the.
I have had that. It's fabulous.
And so the Charsu is really what got us here and what we're known for. And so to put that in the ramen and kind of combine
what is Charsu, please?
Charsu is a Chinese barbecue pork.
Okay, I just think somebody should know.
What's fun about that one for us is that pork is normally, you know, roasted and it's pretty dry. But what we do is we sous vide it, and that's a technique I learned from Carrie 5 years ago. She was showing me how to do it with wings, and then I decided to do it with the pork. But it gives us kind of a modern take on Charsu. It's not the typical one you'd find hanging in the window that's kind of dry. Ours is a little more moist with more sauce, but very tender and delicious. We cook it for 17 hours.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And so I think it's special for us to be able to take that signature dish from the Ginger Pig and put that in Carrie's ramen and kind of combine that thing.
The ramen was the best ramen I've had.
Thank you. That's really exciting to hear that. Thank you.
I just was so excited. I kept sitting there saying, guys, because I think ramen is iffy.
Yeah, and you can kind of taste the time that she puts into it.
Oh, it's very special. But I love that. I love the Korean chicken. Is that the hot one? Yeah.
Yeah, and that one was actually made by our sous chef, Meg, and we did that one in the food hall, and that's a really good one too. I think our menu is really fun because there's a lot of different minds and influence in it.
Okay, it was very interesting. We ordered this last week. You have no idea. Nobody, honestly, people, she has no idea that I keep going in there. But it was this, I don't know, Mother Zhang something or other. It had sticky noodles, spicy.
Yeah. So that one's called the Auntie Zhang's Chinese noodle?
Yeah.
So that one's a fun one. You liked it?
Oh, I loved it.
I'm so glad to hear that. So there's a really popular dish all over China called ants climbing a tree. And that's what that is. But instead of calling it ants climbing a tree, because I thought that'd be a hard sell for Americans, something with a bug in it, we decided to use ant, like auntie, to signify. And then Zhang is the family I lived with in China. That's their surname.
Okay.
That's why I call it Auntie Zhang's noodles. But that one's a really fun one for me because that's something that I've eaten all over China, and I think we have a really great version. It's done with mung bean noodles, so it's pretty fun.
Okay, we ordered it just because I always say we have to have something different, you know, along with all the other things. And well, the problem was my friend took too much of it, but that's okay. I'm not a big fan of just a bowl of noodles. This was so delicious in the pork. It was fabulous.
Thank you. My favorite thing we have is our eggplant. I don't know if you got to try that.
I haven't had that yet.
We do an eggplant, and this dish, it actually took me 5 years to get right before I put it on the menu.
Okay.
And I normally don't take that long with a dish, but this was my favorite thing I had eaten in China, and it was my favorite. It was kind of the reason why I wanted to cook professionally and cook Chinese food professionally. So I spent a lot of time before I did this one. And, you know, you see a lot of people have eggplant brown and eggplant full of oil. Eggplant's a tough one.
Right. And I love eggplant.
It's a tough one to cook, and it's a tough one to get right, I think. So I finally nailed it after like 5 years, and switching from one doubanjiang to another and switching vinegars. And so I'm pretty excited about that one. That's definitely my favorite thing on the menu, and I'd recommend. We have a vegan version, and then we also have one where you can add pork or shrimp, or both, pork, shrimp, and eggplant. We call that one ESP.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's not even really called that.
I have vegan friends.
Eggplant, shrimp, and pork, ESP.
I have vegan friends who love spicy food like that. So if they have something to eat there.
And yeah, and in addition to that, I think we were in Boulder for several years, so we are even extra conscious about vegans and gluten-free and soy-free and dairy-free. And so you'll find, even though there's pig in the title of our business name and company, you'll find a lot of vegan items.
And it has to have a pig for me.
This is so funny. We're so gluten-free in this kitchen for the most part that I tried to make some peanut butter miso cookies a few days ago just for fun. but I didn't even have flour. And I said to everyone, have you ever been in a professional kitchen with no flour? This is so weird, you know, but we really, you know, it's from being in Boulder so long, and we use potato starch and we use rice flour and we use tamari, and we really are very conscious about making things gluten-free. And so I think it's kind of interesting and it's fun. And we ended up making some cookies with powdered sugar, and which has some cornstarch in it, and they were flourless and they were great. So I think it's been really fun.
Did they taste like? Did they look like meringues, or did they?
They looked like normal dense cookies. I think from the peanut butter, it gave them, and the miso gave them some depth.
Okay.
Which surprised me, but I think it's been really like a good challenge to try to make good Asian food without gluten, you know, and use tamari and potato starch, and it's been fun. We don't have everything gluten-free because there are certain ingredients like gochujang.
I'm not gluten-free. I'm not vegan.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. But we do have a lot of that for people if they're interested.
Well, because you know what, half my friends claim, you know, they're either gluten-free or this and that. You know how people are. And I just sit there and go, okay, you know, what are you going to do?
Okay. Well, everyone's adapting really well for them. I think there's a lot to choose from, you know. I think restaurateurs and chefs are really trying hard to, you know, provide all really good food that's still either gluten-free or not, you know, trying to make options
you have to
feed everyone, you know.
All right, now tell us, like, you do carry out, and do you do delivery?
We do carry out, and we do delivery through DoorDash.
Oh, okay. I don't like to support anybody but the restaurant. So, okay, and we
love that about you.
I just can't do it. Do you have indoor dining at all now with the change?
We do. We just about a week and a half ago opened back up to 25% capacity.
Right. Okay. Now, tell me when you're open and your hours and all that.
So we're open Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8:30, and then on the weekends we've added lunch. So we're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 to 8:30.
Oh, okay. So
just we're open 7 days a week.
All right, and ramen is only Sunday.
True. On Sunday you can get ramen. We do have a few other menu items on Sunday, some salads and sandwiches and appetizers, but it's mostly
sandwiches. Ramen. What kind of sandwiches? I've never seen a sandwich.
So right now we have a banh mi meatloaf sandwich, and we also do a banh mi sando, like a katsu sando. We do a chicken katsu sando. We just started lunch like a week and a half ago, so you'll be seeing more different sandwich and soup and
what time do you open for lunch?
12 o'clock.
Oh dear.
And my favorite thing on our lunch menu is our Vietnamese chicken salad. It's called goi ga, and I think it's really awesome. We only do that on the weekends for lunch. So if you come on a weekend, I would definitely try the Vietnamese chicken salad.
Well, my problem is, this is way too personal for this, but I get another vaccine shot right by you on Friday, but it's at 10:15, so I won't be there at noon. Darn. So I don't think anybody's going to want to wait around for 2 hours.
No.
But we'll come back.
Thank you.
And how would one get in touch with you? And your address?
So we are at 4262 Lowell Boulevard in Northwest Denver, right across from the Safeway.
And that's where I get the shot.
Oh, okay. And then our website is www.gingerpig.com. And follow us on Instagram. Instagram is the best way to see what specials we have. We are trying to keep in touch with people that way and let them know what we have that's new and special. And then the phone number is 720. I
can't help it. I don't know it.
324-8416, I think. I would double check that. I'm sorry. I have never called this place.
Okay, it's Ginger Pig, guys. You can look it up. It comes right up. And frankly, what haven't we told anybody?
I feel really lucky to get this opportunity to do this. When there's not a lot of silver linings with COVID, and because, you know, a lot of restaurants have not been able to make it, we were able to take this space over at a really great deal that made it worthwhile for us to take.
What was there before?
This was Scratch Burrito.
Okay.
Which I hadn't been to, but I feel really grateful for this opportunity. I know a lot of my friends are really struggling, and restaurants are having a really hard time right now. And I feel really lucky that we've been able to keep our takeout business going, because this is basically just a big food truck for us. So we were kind of prepared for that, and that we're able to keep many of our employees employed. And I just feel really grateful for the opportunity to do this.
And your prices, just so people know, are quite affordable. So you're not putting in $1 million for each item that you're getting. The food, I have to tell you, since you opened and I got to go there, I think I've been there every week at least, maybe twice in 1 week, but that's because I had to have ramen too. And you are delightful. The place is fabulous. And maybe with everything going on, everybody will get a shot and we can all get out in this new regime and get to come in person and be with you there. Do you have patio dining?
We do have a patio. I'm actually sitting on the patio right now.
Oh, okay. Hi there.
The patio actually has a view of the mountains, which is really nice and unusual.
Okay, I have to convince you to open early 1 week. But other than that, you are just delightful. And tell Carrie hi.
I will.
Nothing but our best wishes for an amazing, amazing place, Ginger Pig, with 2 very amazing ladies. Yay, girls rock. And I just wish you the very best. Much love. Thank you. And thank you all, and get over there because I promise you'll love it. I think I want some right now. Have a great day. Much love. Thank you
so much. Take care.
You too. Thank you.